got one. Mark, are the allegations true that you're secretly a lizard? I'm gonna have to go with no on that. I am not a lizard, but keep the high quality comments coming in, please. This is surely on track to be a great live Q&A if we continue getting stuff at that level of quality.
On this episode of The Commercial Break.
I thought about setting up like a TCB shop, and then we just like play the episodes back to back. Yeah. There's a good chance we'll have as many listeners of the Metaverse as we do in the real world. Let's put that on our list. Yeah, put that on the list of shit we'll never try.
Exactly.
Right after the live shows, right after selling out Carnegie, we'll put ourselves on the Metaverse. I feel like if I had I feel like I have a headset, I'd be a cool kid. Right now, I don't know, there might be like something on my avatar that says desktop user. Old white man is probably what it says. And no one wants to talk to old white men right now.
Hence the person that said, don't talk to me.
Yeah, they said, don't talk to me, old white man. We had these yeggs for decades. And then all of a sudden, they turned into dinosaurs, little velociraptors. We had a T-Rex running around the backyard, and I thought to myself, shit, I thought they were parakeets.
The next episode of The Commercial Break starts now.
Cats and kittens, welcome back to another episode of The Commercial Break. I am Bryan Green. This is the director of pizza and pizzle parties, Kristen Joy Hoadley. Best to you, Krissy.
Best to you, Bryan.
And best to you out there in the podcast universe. How the hell are you? Thanks for joining us on yet another episode of this, The Commercial Break. It's not for everyone, but fact, news, or fiction is guaranteed in 1 minute or less, or your money back. The brand new TCB podcast.com is where you go to collect your winnings. Whee! Hey, I did it. Look at that. Yeah. I accomplished it. I did it.
Good work.
It's like riding a bike. You just got to get back up and do it a few times. Yeah. I was in here last night literally practicing because after last week, I had to say that beginning like 6 times in a row because I just couldn't get it right. And poor Krissy had to suffer through it. Because every time that I don't get it right, then we have to start the music all over again. And the music is like 7.5 minutes long. Take it from the top because Bryan can't say it. And so I was in here practicing last night. Look at that. That's all it takes is a little practice.
When
you put just a little effort into this show, it ends up being a little bit better. Number 3 worst podcast in Canada.
Whee!
Yeah. What about that?
I love it.
I went on the Metaverse last night, Krissy.
Oh, you did?
I did it. I jumped right in. I went balls deep into the Metaverse, and I felt extraordinarily uncomfortable. I had no idea what I was doing or where I was going or why I was there, quite frankly.
What world did you go into?
I don't know. I wish I remember which one. It was like, I can't remember which one. But it was one of the worlds. Okay. It's available on desktop. You don't have to have the AR, the VR headset.
Right,
You can just go in on desktop and then clunkily move around like one of those old... like one of those old CD-ROMs you used to put in your computer, right? What was that? Bathing suit Bob or bathtub Bob or jacuzzi Jim or something like that? Do you remember that one?
No.
Like the very first kind of adult rated
game
PC game.
Okay.
Yeah. Leisure Larry. Leisure Larry, I think is what it's called.
I was in the demo for Leisure Larry.
I wasn't in the demo either for Leisure Larry, but I saw pictures of it in PC Mag or whatever my dad had. But so I went on the virtual world.
My dad had the PC Mag.
The PC Mag
subscription too. I think our dads are very similar.
I think so too. My dad was like an early adopter of all this.
Yes, my dad was too. Oh yeah, we had like Prodigy, the first dial-up-y kind of thing. And
we didn't even have Prodigy. My dad literally, I don't know how he did this. I wish I could, maybe I need to talk to him about this before he passes away. I need to get like an oral history of my dad's early computer use, but he had a computer very early on. The first one's in the neighborhood to get cable. He petitioned the cable company to get cable in the neighborhood. So everybody would come over to watch, whatever event was on cable, HBO or whatever. And he had this
9.5 weeks.
Oh man, 9.5 weeks. All right, that's a whole different thing. We'll get back to that. I'll work in 9.5 weeks. But so what he did, he got one of those phone modems, and he used to take the phone off the receiver. For those of you that don't know, there actually used to be a hard, like a phone, an actual phone attached to a wire in your wall that went outside, and that's how they connected it.
Yes.
He took that phone and he placed it on the modem.
Yes.
Right, and it used to make this audible noise.
Yep.
And he connected the two computers, the one at work and the one at home. And so what he did was when he wanted to come home and do work and, watch the kids.
He'd dial in.
He'd dial into the computer and he'd download all of this, whatever, revenue. I don't know what the fuck he was downloading. Probably porn. I don't know. Can you imagine how long it would take?
Yeah.
But I just remember how this was going on. And that was when I lived in Chicago. So I was less than 11 years old when this was happening.
Yes.
So this is back in the early
very
80s.
early, yeah.
Very early 80s. And I can't imagine how long that would have taken him to download any of that information. Do you remember the first time you tried to download a booby pic?
No.
What was the first booby pic that you tried to download?
I wasn't downloading booby pics. But video or any of that stuff. I mean,
oh my God.
I was using it for school a lot. So it took a long time.
I lived with a woman and we shouldn't have been living together. We shouldn't have been dating. We were young and working in the restaurant. It's Chili's. And so she had a computer, and I got one of those AOL discs in the mail, and I managed to get us plugged in on that dial-up. And so when they were on their shift, her and her twin sister, who I lived with, it was a total nightmare. That's a whole different episode. I would get on AOL.
She's not the same one that took you to Florida, right? And jumped your bones?
It took me to Florida and jumped my bones. What?
You told that whole story another time.
About jump my bones?
Yeah, she worked at the Chili's too. And she kind of accosted
you. No. Different girl altogether.
Okay.
Yeah, no. This was a woman I actually lived with. So I managed to get online, and of course, the first thing I go searching for is tid pics, right? That's what I wanted to see. Is everybody was talking about the wonderful porn on the internet. Mm-hmm. It took me days to download one image. I had to stop. I had to pause. People came in the house to use the phone, and it was a whole thing. Eventually, I got to a boob, and I was like, "This is not the limit. The juice is not worth the squeeze."
No,
here. You know
what
I'm talking
just
about?
Gone and bought the magazine.
Yeah, I did buy the magazine. I had the same 3 magazines since I was 18 years old that I would travel around with in this bag. So I get on the Metaverse or whatever the fuck it is, and I'm just, there's no one there, and I'm traveling around, and you bump into people, and you try and say hi to them, and they say hi, and then they leave, and they don't talk. One person said, "Don't talk to me." One person said, "Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me." I thought this is a place that's supposed to be nice.
I thought that was...
I'm not sexually assaulting you. I just want to talk to you. I just wanted to find out what this is all about. I was actually looking for directions. I was looking for help in this Metaverse.
Sure.
How do you get to something interesting? Because everything here seems to be boring. It's like literally a 2D landscape of a beach and an island, and you're supposed to be on Party Island. There's no party.
There's a party.
There's no anything. There's a bunch of weird avatars all standing around.
Yeah.
And when you knock into them, you're like, "Hello, get away from me."
I read a whole article about a girl that did a Metaverse date.
Oh.
So, and that was pretty interesting.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah.
I'm telling you, there's weird shit going on in the Metaverse. I haven't gotten to that level yet.
Of course there is.
Yeah, there's a secret level. You got to buy into it or something. Yeah. It's like Zelda. I got to get to the right
Legend
level before shit starts getting interesting. I'd be interested, if there's any you Metaverse experts out there without VR headsets, then I'd love to know how exactly you get to the interesting shit. Like, where is Snoop Dogg having a private concert?
Yeah, I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's happening somewhere out there.
Right.
I just don't know where it is. I thought about setting up a TCB shop, and then we just play the episodes back to back. Yeah. There's a good chance we'll have as many listeners in the Metaverse as we do in the real world. Let's put that on our list. Yeah, put that on the list of shit we'll never try.
Exactly.
Right after the live shows, right after selling out Carnegie, we'll put ourselves on the Metaverse.
Yes.
So
maybe I'll dig into it too.
Dig into it.
I'll try and see.
Yeah, I'll send you a link to the.
Send me the link, and then at least I'll talk to you.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy a little space, and then I'll start building a hut, and I'll send you my address, and you can come over and hang out.
Yes.
We can
just like old times in real life.
What if we built a studio that mimicked the studio, and then we did the podcast in the Metaverse, and then we can just have 2 different versions of the show.
I like
a Metaverse version. We'll sell it as an NFT because those things seem to be hot right now.
Right.
If you're into losing money.
I think they were.
If you're into losing money. You knew that bubble was going to burst.
I figured
you knew that bubble was going to burst. I just didn't expect it to come so quickly.
It was very fast.
Yeah, listen, now, I have said this before. I do think the technology underlying the NFT for digital rights management is a huge I think the world is going to work that way. You're not going to go buy a movie ticket from a movie. You're not going to buy your movie from Amazon. You're going to buy your movie directly from the producers. Mm-hmm. It's going to be managed through the blockchain. That's my opinion.
That makes sense.
Same with podcasts and music and all this other stuff. But, selling a penis picture for $75,000 that you drew on your, MacBook Atari is probably not It's probably not worth.
Yeah,
again,
there was such a influx of people doing
the
it.
juice is not worth the squeeze. I learned that. Somebody said that the other day, and I've been saying it about everything. I'm like, the juice is not worth the squeeze. Just like repeating
It
stuff.
can apply to a lot of things.
Sure. So, but I need to get in the VR version of this is what I really need to do. Like, we need to go full virtual reality with it, because I think if you don't have the headset, then you're limited to where you can go and what you can do. I don't know this to be the truth. This is just my brain telling me that, because I don't know how to work in the
probably definitely an
enhancement
experience.
Yeah, I want to be able to walk through the metaverse, and when I bump into people, I want to be able to feel it. I want to be able to like knock into them and then say. I feel like if I had
give you a little shake.
I feel like I have a headset, I'd be a cool kid. Right now, I think I don't know. There might be like something on my avatar that says desktop user. Old white man. That's probably what it says. And no one wants to talk to old white men right now. Like,
hence the person that said, "Don't talk to me."
Yeah, they said, "Don't talk to me, old white man."
I can tell you're using a desktop.
Yeah, I see you using a desktop. Get out of here, you creep. Only pedophiles use desktops. Only metaverse pedophiles use desktops. I know what you're up to. I see you creeping. Do you know where the playgrounds are?
The playgrounds. Oh my God.
I heard there's a Sadie Hawkins dance at one of the virtual middle schools. My name is Bobby. I'm 12. I'm new in town and I'm just looking for friends. You shouldn't laugh. This probably happened.
Yes.
Oh my God. My avatar is a 12-year-old boy. Hi, I'm Bobby. It's my first day in the metaverse. I'm new in school. That's 21 Meta Street.
Oh my God.
I'm here to bust all the kids using meta drugs. Hey, you got any of that meta blow? You know it's happening. There's meta drugs out there somewhere. I just got to find them.
Yeah.
But I feel like if I had the headset, I'd be a little cooler. And, Vegas is onto this too. They know that the experience. Vegas is weird because the big casinos don't want to acknowledge a lot of the stuff that's going on, but they're passively approving of it. Mm-hmm. When I'm talking about legalized prostitution, right? Legalized sex work. You can find adult videos on every Vegas on-demand television, but you can't find the hardcore stuff. They don't, at least not that I know of, right? So there's a company out there that has decided that they can solve these issues. And they also know that virtual reality porn is really the future of porn. It
really is, yeah.
This I want to see. If nothing else, just to see what it's like to have kind of POV point of view on porn. I think that to me sounds interesting. Like just a human interest story.
Right. Sure.
At least that's what I'm telling Esther.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a company now that I was reading about that is deploying a army of robots, little tiny robots that have 4 wheels and they drive around. And what you do is, I don't know which hotels these are available at yet, but there are some apparently are. You can get online. You can dial up your favorite, whatever porn movie you want to watch virtually in virtual reality.
Okay.
And then you wait a couple minutes because the robot is going to literally bring it to your door.
Wow.
Knock on the door and drop off a VR headset for you to wear and watch these particular movies.
Okay. Well.
And then it'll pick it back up from you later. Now, I don't think this solves like a privacy issue because when you see a little robot, like one of those little Star Wars robots.
Yeah. Go into somebody's door.
Go into someone's door. Just ramming into someone's door. Like, hey, Bob, your porn robot's keeping me up all night. You might want to answer that door.
Yeah, get your freaking
Wasn't
headset.
me. Wrong address altogether. Wasn't me. I'll take it in and I'll get it straightened down.
Right.
But I think this is like highly fascinating. First of all, the thought of robots running around the hotels, dropping off VR headsets for creepy white men who are sick of using their desktop version of the metaverse. But second of all, that you can get this kind of service on demand and that it will be brought to you by a robot.
Why wouldn't it just stay in the hotel room? It's just available.
Again, the hotels don't want to tacitly approve of this kind.
Approve.
You don't want to. I know it's like it's not about approving. They don't want to get behind it. No pun intended. They don't want. They don't want to get behind the hardcore porn industry.
Okay.
Even though
that makes no sense.
They're happy to have the adult conference there. The
AVN.
The AVN Awards there every year. They're happy to put together. They're happy to do anything except for directly say, here's a virtual. Mr. Green, when you're checking into the hotel room, it says, which is special request, high floor, not near the elevator,
right.
VR headset for your dick. I mean, it's just like a bunch of shit that you should check off.
Sure.
It should be a concierge service like anything else. I agree with you. And I bet this is going to take off in hotels around the world. But all these huge hotels are now owned by these big hotel companies. Yeah, they're no longer owned by, Jimmy Two Dicks or whatever it's not run by the mafia anymore.
Yeah.
It's not like you can just say, we're getting together with Vivid Entertainment to give adults additional choices in their masturbatory activities.
Right.
They can't say that. It doesn't look good to the shareholders. So what they'll say is, we, just like a pizza being delivered to the door, we have no choice in what our guests choose to do. So if they choose to enhance their masturbatory moments with little robots that bring headsets to the door. I just want to be ensured these things are cleaned. That's all I care about.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, sprayed, disinfected.
Yeah, I'd like to add one additional piece to this whole process. Like when you go on the app and you order your virtual headset, I'd like a video camera wherever central control is. I'd like a...
This is central control.
I'd like a video of my headset being dipped in hot molten lava, taking away all of the specimen from the last guy who used it. Because I don't know who it is, but my mind starts going a little wild. I'm a little OCD.
You know what you could do too is just buy your own VR headset and then have it travel with it.
I don't want to give Zuckerberg any more of my money. I don't want to give him one more fucking dollar.
I think there's more things than his stuff.
No, I think it's Zuckerberg. I think there's one accessible. I say inexpensive, relatively inexpensive headset, and it's that fucking Meta headset. What's it called? The Oculus?
Yeah.
The Oculus 5 or the Oculus 8 or whatever it is. I don't know that there's a whole bunch of others that are inexpensive. Not that I've looked, but there's also, you got to be careful because they're using the Oculus because that's what accommodates these type of porn movies the best is the Oculus, or at least that's what the CEO said.
Okay. I should have checked this because I went to the Picasso thing. Mm-hmm. Right? It was Picasso?
Picasso, yeah.
Yeah. No, it wasn't Picasso. It was Van Gogh. The Van Gogh experience. It's like traveling all across the world.
Yeah.
It was super cool. And as part of it, at the end, they had a virtual reality situation. You sat down on a stool, you got the headset on, and you were able to kind of walk around this Van Gogh world.
Really?
It was super cool.
Was it interesting?
Yeah.
And so they put
it feels real. It's so crazy.
Yeah. I only did VR one time, and it was with that stupid game where you take the sword and the music comes at you, and all these balls, and you're slicing them in half. I don't know what it's called, right? Dance Party or whatever.
Okay.
I only did it one time, but
swords and balls with
swords and balls.
Party.
Dance Party.
I don't think that was doing it, but okay.
From the same people who brought you Anal 3000 in VR quality comes Dance, Balls, and Swords. Use your sword. Here comes the balls. Dance. I was dancing and juggling balls with my swords.
Well, that's an interesting game.
But I'll tell you what, it was highly immersive, and I really was having a hard time distinguishing between what was going on outside my body and what was going on inside my mind.
Yeah, well, because you're completely enclosed in, you just
it's weird.
Totally forget about what's happening outside.
Totally strange.
I know, I love it.
Yeah, I do too. Anyway, anything good that's happening in the world is because porn is doing it first.
They're usually the pioneers.
The internet is around because of porn. If it wasn't paying on the internet because of porn, buying things on the internet because of porn, virtual reality because of porn, all great innovation happens around sex. And I think that's...
No, I agree.
I'm going to say all great innovation. Light bulbs. Light bulbs were invented so that Edison could take a look at his lovers.
That is true.
The telephone.
That's a fun fact.
He wanted to Netflix and chill, so he had to find a way to call somebody. It's all, if you think about it, it's all predicated. You think Steve Jobs and Wozniak were building a computer because they like to see computations? No, they wanted to figure out how to deliver a tit pic from one end of the universe to the other.
Yes.
These guys were all horny bastards, and that's how we got from point A to point B.
Yeah.
And I applaud it. I say go for it. More sex, more innovation. Sex work is work.
That's right.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of The Commercial Break. You can go to tcbpodcast.com if you want to find out more information about Krissy and I. Watch any of the video or listen to any of the audio episodes. You can do that right there at the website, tcbpodcast.com. We'd love to hear from you. 661-237-8296. That's 661, the word best, the number 2, YOYO. Drop us any questions, comments, concerns, or content ideas you have for the show, and we'll get back to you. I promise we will. If you'd like to take a look at the show, you can do that. youtube.com/thecommercialbreak. Feel free to hit that subscribe button so you never miss any of the clips or full episodes that we release on a daily basis at youtube.com/thecommercialbreak. And if you'd like to be one of the few brave people who are following us on Instagram, go to @thecommercialbreak on IG. The question we get most often is, how can we best support the show? You can leave us a review, a comment, or a rating on your favorite podcast player. Wherever you're listening to us, it's likely that they have a review or rating system. Please take 1 minute out of your day and leave that review. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast also. If you hear one of our sponsors' commercials and you're inclined to buy their product or service, please use the specialized URLs or codes that we talk about on those ads so that our sponsors will continue to support the show and make it free and frequent to you. We love our TCB listeners, and from the bottom of our hearts, thank you for listening to the show. We're going to hear a word from said sponsors, and then we'll be back to this episode of The Commercial Break. Krissy, I was trolling on the internet.
As you do.
As I like to do. As I'm bound to do. I was trolling in the Metaverse.
In the Metaverse.
Here's what made me think of this. When I was in the Metaverse, they had like some people had animals. They had little doggies. Like your little dog too. And I thought it to be very interesting, but a little bit, a little off-putting. I don't know. Mm-hmm. I don't know why. I just thought it's all creepy enough that we're all pretending to be something we're not.
Right.
But then you got a dog to play along too. And it made me remember that a long time ago, God, it's been so many episodes now. I don't even, how many episodes have we done of this stupid show? I don't know.
I think we're in the 220s.
So many episodes ago, we highlighted a pet psychic. Do you remember this? Oh,
God, yes, okay. I do.
I went, it just made me think of the pet psychic, and I wanted to go back, and I wanted to take a little run at the pet psychic. I really wanted to take a look and see if we could find another pet psychic that was interesting.
Okay.
So who I found was Sonya Fitzpatrick.
Okay.
Apparently one of the early host or hostesses on Animal Planet.
Oh, yeah.
And she had a show about her being able to talk to animals.
I kind of remember this.
Who's that guy who used to talk to animals? Dr. Doolittle?
Yeah.
She's like the Dr. Doolittle of Animal Planet. Mm-hmm. Let's take a listen.
Just lost in the streets next to
let's see what happened to him before she found him and how he got lost.
Just having an English accent just lends authority to anything.
Anytime someone with an English accent, that's why I'm always watching these stupid shows. Anytime someone with an English accent says something, they're trustworthy.
They are.
They're reliable sources of information. You don't figure the British are prone to fits of fancy. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I agree.
Like, I don't know. Teresa Caputo with her, South Jersey accent. I disbelieve anything she says from the moment her mouth is open. This lady takes me a while to disbelieve her.
Speaking of, hold on real quick. Speaking of English people and sex, going back to our topic previously, there's a show on Netflix called How to Build a Sex Room. It's fantastic.
Oh my God.
And it's this English woman that narrates or is the designer of these, and it's so good.
I have heard of this.
We binged it this weekend. It was so fun.
I have heard of this, and I'm going to get on it to report back to the listeners on my thoughts on that.
Yeah.
And remind me, and later on this week, we'll get into the morning show, which I started watching.
The morning show. I've watched that.
Favorite, Jen Aniston.
She
looks so good.
She does.
She looks so good. How old is she? 70? She looks great. I say 70. Yeah, she's like my age. 50s. She's in her 50s. Uh-huh. She looks so good for 50. Mm-hmm. Anyway, let's listen.
Tons of money and good doctors.
Yeah. Well, there's definitely some work being done. And like now that it's in 4K and 3D and whatever the hell, the Apple
But she
TV,
looks good. She's got good
looks
doctors.
Great.
Yeah.
And this is a good show.
It is a good
I
show.
recommend.
Mm-hmm.
To see you.
You too.
Hi, Izzy. Hi, Izzy, darling. Hi.
So here we find ourselves with Susan Fitzpatrick showing up at what is clearly Sonya Fitzpatrick, what is clearly a very expensive home.
Yes.
And I want to know, why is it all the women with a lot of money that find that they want to talk to their isn't this a trope that's probably true?
I think so.
Like, I don't know. I don't know. Do you ever want to talk to your animal in this manner?
No.
No.
He's upstairs. Hello, Holly. His name's Holly because Courtney and Catherine.
Holly is a parakeet. I just want you to know.
Yeah, it's a bird.
As if you don't hear enough from this fucking bird.
If he was a girl or a boy.
Then nobody knows. You get so many people that have birds,
And then-
they don't even know what they are.
And then
So many people that have birds. I refuse to stick the pinky in the little asshole to figure out what that has a little bird penis in that. It's a crime against humanity.
You'd be
for
surprised.
years.
Do you want to meet Holly? What's that? He said.
Um,
What's that? It's a little tiny dog. Is it a cat? No, it's not a cat, Holly. It's a little dog.
Is she talking to the parrot? Like the parrot's asking questions
She's having a conversation
with the bird.
I'm sure that's
Is that
what
a
the
cat?
bird is thinking.
No, that's not a cat.
Is that a dolphin? Is that one of those bird-eating dolphins? I keep reading about in the newspaper. I think I know it's a cat and a dog. It's so stupid.
That's crazy.
He's pretty. He says he's pretty. Oh, he loves it, Aunt Helen, because we're in here.
I know.
Listen, Sonya. It's me, Petey the parakeet. Do me a favor. It's been a long time since I've gotten any action. I'm stuck here in this cage, and this crazy woman thinks it's okay to just open up the blinds and everything's going to be fine. I want some action. Is that a dog or a cat or a dolphin? It's pretty hot. It's really pretty. That's not what I said. I said she's a fucking smoke show. Tell her that.
Loves it because we're in
Well,
here.
he had a friend, and then we didn't know who was who, boy or girl, and
He's
they
still
started having.
grieving.
They had eggs, and then for years the eggs never hatched. And then one day, my daughters, the egg hatched, so they had a baby.
That's not the way it works.
Hey, girl, it's me, Carl. That's not the way science works. I just wanted you to know. You actually can't have a baby stuck in indefinite osmosis, or whatever you call it. I just thought I'd call you up and let you know. You sound like a real dum-dum right now, lady.
We had these eggs for years.
We had these eggs for decades. And then all of a sudden they turned into dinosaurs, little velociraptors. We had a T-Rex running around the backyard, and I thought to myself, shit, I thought they were parakeets. I thought it was a female. I guess do the boys lay the eggs in the parakeet world? Because she said he had the eggs.
No,
he laid the eggs.
I don't know.
I don't know
think
either.
so.
I don't know about parakeets.
And then that little family lived for probably 10 years, and then one day the baby died and the mama died.
Yeah, he's still grieving from it. And he wants to know when you're getting him another bird.
That
And
is
he's like,
wild.
well,
That is a wild story. And just one day.
I thought the most interesting thing
They
about this
died.
video was Susie Fitz. What's her name?
Sonya.
Sonya, the bird whisperer.
Yeah, and no, the moms are the ones with the eggs. I've seen enough Planet Earth.
Okay, and they can't just like have eggs and then years later they hatch, right? That's not a thing.
I mean, the bird. You had eggs up on your door.
I had eggs. They
hatched.
They hatched, but maybe that's because the snake was coming after them. Yeah.
Yeah, that's strange.
Yeah.
like his mate.
Oh, look, I think he likes the
He loves
camera.
it because he's so happy we're here. He gets very lonely, he said.
You were right.
He gets very lonely, he said.
You were right.
He said he just wants a companion. He says he does not like looking at your face daily. He'd like to take a walk every once in a while. He wonders why you treat that dog better than you treat him. I'm just asking for him.
We have a TV for him right here, see?
Yes.
So they have a TV. He's a TV and movies. And when his little family was alive, they would all sit up on that little
and watch it.
and they watch. They get real excited. So we try
His
to.
little family was still. God.
Before the great bird murder of 1998. Everything was swimming. We'd sit around, eat popcorn,
They would perch.
watch Michael Bay Transformer movies. Everybody was happy. We would literally Netflix and chill. But then the birdlings that hatched after 10 years of sitting in an egg, they just fell over one day dead. Maybe they were never alive.
Maybe they were.
Yeah, maybe
Somehow the egg cracked open.
Cracked open.
And it was just.
There was like a bird.
I
I don't want to get into all the. I don't want to get into all the details. I don't want to scare away the children. I always get weirded out by people who put TVs like there's this pet palace or whatever it's called that we used to take the dogs to.
Right.
And for $25, you get them a run, which is just basically a box where not a box, but a cornered off area.
Yes, they can run.
Whatever, 10 by 10, and they can run, and then they get let out, and they have playtime with other dogs.
Yeah.
But for $175,000 a night, you can get them. They have a bed, and they get a ice cream treat at the end of the night.
Yeah,
and
it's a whole little hotel.
It's a room. Each room has a fucking TV in it playing 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
I don't understand. I've never once seen my dog watch TV. I know there are cats that watch TV.
Yeah.
But they're just tripping balls.
Yeah, my mom used to turn on the Animal Planet when she would leave the dogs at the house.
I can understand
it makes
the
the
noise.
Human feel better.
Makes the human feel better. That's it. My grandma used to leave the radio on.
Yeah.
Every time she would leave the house. And she said that's because if anyone ever tried to break into the house,
Right, they'd hear
think
voices.
somebody was home. Yeah. I think it made her feel better.
Exactly.
like Madagascar and Lion King and things like
he's
that.
so thrilled. He knows what's going on, Helen. He knows he knows he's very important, he's telling me.
Helen, he knows exactly what's going on. He knows he's being filmed for Animal Planet. He wants to know if we're going to sign a waiver or a collaboration agreement. Helen.
He looks no different than when they first walked in there.
He has no clue.
Of course, you have a great way with animals, Helen, but he really would like a mate. And he would like more people coming in to visit him.
He would really like to mate. I told you.
You did.
I told you.
You were on it.
Petey the parrot is over it.
Yeah.
He's like, dude, in the wild, I was getting laid 3-4 times a season.
Exactly.
And now I'm just looking at these stupid. You keep putting Madagascar on.
The Lion King.
Yeah, I know how it ends. And the Lion King, everybody dies. Can we take that miserable movie off?
And he likes it when the music's playing. He's feeling so much better. He's just asking, how long will it be?
Probably not much longer now. Your suffering will end soon, dear.
How long will it be? Until he gets a mate? Is that the question?
I don't know. Krissy, this lady doesn't know either.
I know.
She's made an entire living ripping off rich white ladies of their money because they think she's Mrs. Fitzdoolittle or whatever.
Right.
Then she could come in and start talking to the parakeet.
To them.
The reality is, no one can talk to a parakeet like that. The parakeet has a human brain. How is that possible?
Yeah.
You know, they crucified Disney for this. They said, stop making the animals. Stop humanizing the animals. Because, you know, a deer doesn't talk. A deer doesn't have friendships like, you know, humans have friendships, right? Yeah. But apparently it's okay for Susie Mitz-Dick's little here to say anything she wants about the parrot. Yeah. This poor parrot's just like, get me out of the cage.
I know. Give me some fresh air.
Well, like, if you're really serious that he needs a friend, I'll go to PetSmart today and get him.
I'll go right now.
Oh, yeah. Go right to the world's most fantastic breeding place, PetSmart, and go get him a $3 parakeet that's going to die tomorrow. Oh.
Do you get something that either looks close to him and his mate?
His mate was yellow.
Yes.
I could go find a yellow cockatiel. Is he excited about that?
Oh, he's a cockatoo?
He's
Look at
preening.
him. He's preening.
He's oh my gosh.
He's acting for... Look, he's looking at the camera. Look. He's looking. He knows, yeah.
Look. He's looking at the camera. Both eyeballs are wide open.
As they have been.
He can see. Little Petey can see. Was he blind before? No? Well, he can see. What a wonderful thing we're witnessing.
Yes. Oh, Helen, that's making him feel better.
Okay, well, I'm off to PetSmart.
Okay.
We go there all the time anyway.
Why do I feel like this is all well-placed product placement? Yeah. Well, we're off to PetSmart. We go there all the time. For $3.99, it's a buy one, get one free on birdseed this week. And while I'm there, I'll get a brand new dog leash for Bonesy here. Did you know that PetSmart has the world's largest pet leash selection?
Yes, that's a good advertisement.
Oh my God, this is a horrible, horrible show.
Yeah.
But he likes his room. He likes the quiet. He's asking, "Where's the cat?" There was one cat he didn't like.
Oh.
There was one cat he didn't like at all.
Just hiss?
Yeah. Not what I said. I'm asking you to free me into the wild. Take me back to Costa Rica where I belong.
Yes.
You dumb women. Don't go to PetSmart and put another one of my brothers in a cage like this. Haul us all back to Costa Rica.
And he said that sometimes when the girls come home, they come and see him. And who sleeps in here?
Courtney.
He loves that when she's here. Because he said she comes home and she talks to him, and he loves that.
the shot of
Close-up shot of the bird, looking proud. Finally, someone to speak on my behalf. I've been saying this all along. Now some crazy lady with too much lipstick comes in the door, and all of a sudden you listen to her? I thought we were friends.
Oh, good bird.
Why do I think Mrs. Fitzpatrick found this talent as a lonely teenager? You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like she just started having conversations with the animals. Either that or she watched too many Disney movies.
Yeah.
And she felt like, well, I could do that just as good.
Yeah, well, or maybe, animals liked her like animals like me, too. It's very strange. Dogs and cats and everybody likes me, but I'm not talking to them.
No. At least not out loud.
Pretend to know what they're saying to me.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
I know.
And I don't think this is more of like even though she calls herself a psychic, she's less of a psychic and more of like a translator. Interpreter. Yeah.
Communicator.
Yeah, which I think is probably in high demand, if you think about it.
Yes.
There's probably a lot of rich white ladies who'd like to know what their poodles are saying.
Yeah.
Past, come up to him. Oh, he likes you. He says you look after him, and he said you talk to him.
I do.
And
Every time I go.
he says you talk to him all the time, and sometimes you make a little song.
Yeah.
He loves.
Is that you?
What was that? I had no idea. I didn't do that.
I thought that was you.
What was that?
Wow.
Wow, bonk. That was little Petey.
Sometimes you make a little song.
Yeah.
He says you make a lovely little song.
That was early Animal Planet. Going, sorry guys, we're on a limited budget.
Sing to him.
And he says, tell her, thank you for being so kind. And sometimes you sit on the bed and talk to him. And he said, I love that. And he said, keep coming to see him. But he said, he really...
And he said, when's that evil woman going to pay you more money?
Right.
Yeah.
She is like the house cleaner.
Yeah, this is like, I don't know that that's true, but this appears to be a lady that works at the property, maybe a Filipino lady or of some Asian descent. And
Well, she takes care of the bird.
she takes care of the bird, yeah.
like to have another mate, and he'd love a baby, and he loves it because you put the TV on for him, and don't go out without putting it on. He just told me. Don't forget to put
He
it
just
on.
told me.
He loves.
Make sure she turns on that goddamn TV. What does he think I am? Who likes to sit in a dark room all night? What is this? It's torture.
He said you look after him. He wants you to go closer.
He wants to bite your little face off. He wants to peck your eyeball out for not putting the TV on at night.
Wants you to go closer. Oh, I can still feel his sadness.
I buried his wife and the baby.
I buried his wife.
Buried his wife and the baby. This whole fucking town is cuckoo. What's going on? I buried his wife and the baby. Did they have a ceremony? Is there a certificate? Who's got a ring on whose finger? What the fuck?
Yeah.
This is strange.
It's taking it to
He's
another level.
sad. Yeah. I can still feel the sadness
I still see.
came over him then. When you said it, telepathically you were putting out images, and that made him sad. So I tell him we will see them
made
again
him
one day.
It made him sad. Could you see his little bird tears?
Oh my God.
This is bordering on foolishness.
Yes, it really is.
Feel better. I'm going to tell him that he can feel and sense them around him, but he doesn't understand why he can't see them. So I'm going to tell him that when we get out of our physical body, we are in energy and we don't have the physical body. But when he feels and senses his wife and his baby, she's there in a different way. And they're always around us.
Did you get that, Petey? I just told you what happened.
What in the good fucking is talking about? I know what death is. I'm an animal, not a moron. I've seen death in the jungle. I saw the PetSmart people came and wiped us all out. Yes. This lady's giving a philosophy class.
I know.
A parakeet.
Same as they are, and he'll be with them. He'd like that, he said. He'd like that. I just feel so much like sadness. But you helped him a lot, darling, and he wants me to say thank you to him. And he loves it when you come up.
My pleasure.
And you sing.
She keeps making a humming sound. Crazy white lady's talking to the animals. It's time to go back home.
He wants you to put his name in it, and can you sing?
Okay, I'm gonna sing a little song.
Hello.
Is Julie going to sing you a beautiful song?
What song do I need to sing for him?
Here you go.
No pressure. You're on camera.
Yes, no pressure. Animal Planet's ratings basically live and die with this song right here. We got 3 more weeks worth of running with the cash. If you don't sing this song well, it's all going down the tube, lady.
Life has begun from this moment. You are the one right to be from this moment on.
He loves that.
He did nothing different.
He did nothing. He kept staring at this crazy lady who's talking to him. Oh, man. Oh, Krissy, I could do this. I could do this. This could be mine.
Yeah. I think we should start it.
Blue's saying she wants to take another shit on my floor. Blue's saying she likes watching me run around like a chicken with my head cut off every time she barks. Nico's saying, please put me out of my misery, man, whoever you are. Nico's saying, am I dead yet? I can't tell.
Please tell me.
Such a pretty voice,
Oh,
Julie.
thank you. He loves music.
Yeah, he does.
I bet he does like music. Everybody does.
Everybody likes music.
Yeah.
Yeah, who doesn't like music?
No.
You know, there's
And
those
animals.
people that say that they don't like music. You know, I'm not a music person. How are you not a music person?
Yeah.
I don't get
It's
it.
in everything.
And how are you not an animal person? People who are not animal people scare me. If you say you're not an animal person, you scare the shit out of me.
Yeah.
All right, it goes on for a while, but you get the point of it. She can talk to animals. I watched this video last night, and I was just like, what a cuckoo fucking bird. Cuckoo Luco.
Yeah.
And by the way, this video goes on for 2 hours.
What?
It's just like her talking to person after person, animal after animal, and all the same shit. She just puts words in their mouth.
That's what she's doing.
It's how she feels. It's not how
exactly.
they feel.
She thinks they feel.
Yeah. Now, I'm no animal expert, and I think animals have spirits, and I think everything has a spirit, right? And I think there's an energy and all that other all those good groceries. I don't think they think in words like we think, right? I think that just doesn't make any sense.
Right.
Because if they did, maybe they'd be further along on the evolutionary scale.
I think they have another kind of language.
Yeah.
I mean, we have English language. There's all different types of languages. And I think they speak a different language.
That's right. Well, I got to go out back and tend to my chicken eggs. They've been there for 3 years.
Yeah.
I'm hoping they hatch any day now.
Just keep the faith.
I'm keeping the faith. If it happened to her, it can happen to me. And it can happen to you, too. Go to tcbpodcast.com. That's where you find out more information about Krissy and I. You'll find all the audio. You'll find all the video. You'll find a place that you can contact us if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or content ideas. Drop them right there on the website, and Krissy and I may use them in a future episode. You never know, Krissy. This place is full of surprises.
That's right.
Like when Bryan actually prepares for the show. YouTube.com/The Commercial Break. Clips every single day of the week. Full episodes a couple days after they air. And at The Commercial Break on Instagram if you're so inclined. I know there's a ton of new listeners to the show, so thank you for coming on board.
Welcome.
I know you Canadians are hate listening, and that one Canadian. Canadian.
Yeah.
Yeah, we probably have tens of new Canadian listeners.
We need to go to Canada.
I wish I could go to Canada.
Yeah, you can.
I don't know that I can get in.
You can.
Yeah. I had that DUI when I was like 20, so 21 so I don't know.
Yeah, I
don't know.
think you can.
I think I can too.
Yeah.
I mean, they let Machine Gun Kelly in. They'll let me in,
exactly.
right? Okay. All right. All right. Well, listen, Krissy, I think that's all I can do for today.
I think so.
So I'll say this. I'll say I love you.
I love you.
I'll say best to you.
Best to you.
And I'll say best to you out there in the podcast universe. We must bid you adieu, but before we do, we must say, we always say, we will say, and we do say,
Bye.
Sometimes during Christmas, something magical happens.
Hey, Cricket customers. The Max with Ads plan is included with the Cricket $60 unlimited plan at no additional cost. And this holiday season, Max is the one to watch when you're feeling festive.
Son of a nutcracker!
Cozy up to all the holiday classics, like Elf, 8-Bit Christmas, and the Harry Potter 8-film collection. Just log in with your Cricket username and password to experience Max on all your favorite devices. Phone plan streams and standard definition programming subject to change. Fees, terms, and restrictions apply. See cricketwireless.com for details.